All right, we are live for the 69th episode of the
podcast. And excuse me if I'm talking too loud because I've been shepherded before the podcast and I'm too quiet. So I'm going to have to talk with a very loud voice. You guys hear me better a little bit? Is this a little clear? Anyways, we got
Just
a
a
very
bit.
big podcast, arguably the biggest, most shocking podcast I thought we would ever do here, as we are sitting now less than 12 hours, maybe a little bit more now than 12 hours removed from the shocking Vleigh Vipers upset of the Jewish basketball world. And Uriel might not agree, as we're going to talk to him soon. They defeat the seemingly invincible Link Home Care, who've only lost one game over their 2 seasons in the HSL. That one game came without practically their whole team against arguably the best team in the HSL now that Link's gone. I'm still in shock. It was a fantastic game. Link definitely didn't get blown out, but Vleigh controlled the game at their own pace. They slowed it down. They out-rebounded Link like 70-30 if I had to count. It was an absolute masterpiece and a great game plan. They shut down Pacey Jacoby. Wasser did what he had to do, but no one else did anything. And we stand with the Vleigh Vipers in the semifinals.
welcome
thank
to
you.
the show. Yeah, quite
That's
an
a fun.
introduction.
All right, Dave's not doing his normal introductions. A little quiet today, so.
No, I thought Uri was starting to say something. Uri, what were you going to say?
We'll start
Fun
with-
game. That was one of the most competitive games of the season, I think. It had everything you want out of a game. People played hard. We're going for the ball, getting on the ground. Everyone fought for every rebound. Neither team wanted to lose. That was for sure. Like if that game kept going into OT, it would have been a battle. It would have continued. I think we had momentum on our side, and we had great game plan, and it worked. So I'm happy with the results. Happy it didn't go to OT.
Getting right into this. I actually have a question on that. I was speaking to Dylan Kaufman on the sideline, and I was telling him that if you're going to beat Link, the way you beat them is you move the ball at your own pace. You slow the game down. You go very, very slowly. You bring a lot of big men inside. Was that part of the game plan to beat Link? Am I accurate in that at all?
The game plan was to try and shut everyone down and let Wasser be their main guy. You know, Wasser plays at an amazing pace, a lot of patience. You could tell that he is the leader on that team, and he just makes a lot of the right decisions. But we knew that we wouldn't, the best thing we could do is try to contain him. And I think you saw we tried. He still wound up scoring the team's points. But everyone else, we made them feel uncomfortable. We slowed them down, and I think that's threw them off guard.
Very exciting. So, Avi, you were posting the score as the game was going along, actually only when there was about 10 minutes left. It seems like Link was actually closing in at the end based on my limited updates. They were down by 6, then down by 2, and then you just said...
So the basic pace of the game, for anybody who didn't, who wasn't there, which is most of you, in the beginning of the game, Link started off slow, like they usually do. They went down, I don't know, maybe 6-8 points for, I would say, the first majority of the first half. They came storming back, and I think they were up at halftime by 3 or 4 points. The second half, Link jumped out to like a 10-point lead right away to begin the second half. And at that point, I looked at Beyond Roberts, who was rolling in. I'm like, okay, this game is over. Link's going to do what they always do. They start off slow. They play relaxed. They pick it up towards the second half, and they're going to blow them out. Vleigh came storming back. It was a 2-point game, 3-point game. Link was actually up 5 with the ball with like a minute and 10 seconds left. And in my opinion, the turning point of the game was Wasser lost the ball to Noah Aaron, who stole it, drove down, hit an and one to hit the free throw to cut it to 2 with like 50 seconds left. Vleigh then got a stop. They had a putback to tie the game. Jacoby had a wide open 3 for the go-ahead shot with like 7 seconds left. He missed it. Vleigh gets the rebound, calls timeout, and then hits the buzzer to send them. So Link was up by 5 with the ball with a minute and 20 seconds left, which makes the win even more impressive.
I didn't know that part. So the way you were giving notifications, Avi, had a completely different...
It was a very fast change. Link did
Okay.
They're down by 3 or 4, and they just went on like some 9-0 run, like in a blink of an eye. And all of a sudden, you had Dylan Kaufman there sitting depressed on the bench as the team's down by 5 with a minute left. That's what Link does. They turn it up on you like this, and they did, but Vleigh fought right back and won.
So it sounds like Link kind of choked there.
It seemed like Link was ready to win the game with a minute and 10 seconds left, up by 5, and then realized that what would happen. Yes.
Uriel, what's your read on what changed?
I think we had momentum going the whole entire second half. even though they did have that comeback streak, it never really felt like they had the momentum. They were just scoring through their one main player, Wasser, and we had to live with that. But you know, we had the momentum going. I think even if it had to go to OT, we still would have had the momentum and wound up coming out with the win. We just have a really well-rounded team, and we could go to any of our guys at any given play, and I think that makes us a hard cover.
Yeah, I hear you. So you're the center on your team?
Yeah, I think a lot of us could play center with our size, but I'm playing an enforcer down low. Just getting my body banged up, putting it on the line, getting tips, changing the ball's direction on when people are putting shots up. But we have a big team, and Noah Aaron does a great job of getting a lot of boards, keeping us in it, getting those chance points. Gavi also does an amazing job at rebounding. Really, the whole team does it.
Between Gavi,
So,
Uri Alon, and Noah Aaron, they must have had at least 25 offensive rebounds. Not an exaggeration.
Wow.
I think every time down the floor, they had at least one offensive. It felt like every time they put a shot up and missed, they had at least one extra chance to score.
I gotta share something funny, Avi. I figured out how to how to stream live, so we're on YouTube now. And Yuna Burger messaged me. He's like, "You're such a dog. You call Link out for choking and then casually take a sip of your coffee."
I wouldn't say they choked. They played a great game, even all things considered. Even with all the other starters not really being a factor the whole game. Granted, their big man plays amazing defense, makes it hard to drive, but offensively, it was really Wasser keeping them in it. Um, and still, it came down to a last second shot where we had to have that go ahead, which just credit to that guy Wasser. He's amazing. He kept them in it the whole time by himself.
Would you say there's anybody else in the league who can compete with him?
The whole league is competitive. Given that it's team basketball, organized basketball, not everyone is showing their game. Where a lot of guys are stuck just playing a role, and so who really knows? I mean, our team. This is our first time really playing together this season. I don't even know how some of these guys would play in pickup. I'm not playing center in pickup. I'm taking threes and dribbling. So it's hard to say. It's hard to say, but from what we've seen, I'd say he's definitely an X factor in this league for sure.
You're saying
But
you're
there,
better than Wasser. You're saying you're better than Wasser.
no, I'm saying that it's hard to judge in organized basketball when a lot of guys are committed to a role and are happy to play that role. He's probably the
Gotcha.
best at his role of being a floor general and a leader. I would say that.
You know what I would love to see in a 3-on-3 format? I would love to see Moshe Khalili. That guy has incredible handles, and he's just a freak athlete. Like, that guy has a crossover like I've never seen. He's a
Khalili is on which team? Is on Uri's team?
yeah.
Yeah, he's on our team. He's an amazing player. He does have a great handle, can finish strong around the basket, hits crazy acrobatic layups, quick hands, good feel for the game, plays at his own pace. So that's what I'm saying. Like he could turn it up a lot more if he wanted to, but there's really no need for him to on our team. He's committed to that role of just being a slasher and 3-point shooter and playing great defense. So
He had a couple.
yeah, back to that question. Hard to say who really the best player in the league is when everyone's playing roles.
Mm-hmm. Were you? Did any?
He had a couple of big time threes in big spots. Like when Link was pulled within one, he put it up to four. When Link went up by five, he made it back to two. Very clutch threes throughout that game.
Did anything about Link's performance surprise you yesterday?
Me, yeah, Wasser just
Yeah.
doesn't have a stop. He just turns it up at any point. He hit a lot of tough threes, and of course he makes the right passes. He made that beautiful corner pass to end the half. I didn't think there was time left on the clock for him to get that pass off to the corner for the Bucks three, but of course he made the right play and wound up hitting a three to end the half. I think it put him up five. So just his
That's
patience,
a dagger.
they will
Noah,
play the
yeah,
full
Noah Aaron
shot clock
showed.
and they'll still make the right play at the end of the clock because of that guy. When he has the ball in his hands, he just plays smart.
Right. So it's funny on that note, I went over to Wasser after the game and I asked him. I said, you had the ball at the end of the game tied. The shot clock was off. Why'd you pass? Why'd you pass with 7 seconds left for the shot? Why don't you hold it to the end? He's like, Avi, I trust Pacey Jacoby. He's a great shooter. He was wide open in the corner. I'm gonna get him the shot, even if it means Vleigh will get the ball back with 5 seconds left because I trust him to score. It just shows, it goes to show a lot of teams wouldn't do that. A lot of teams wouldn't want to give Vleigh the other, another chance, the other team another chance with 5 seconds left. He trusts his shooter so much, and I guess these guys have been playing together for so long. He had an open look that he thought it was the right decision to give him that shot with 7 seconds, knowing Vleigh would get another shot, another chance at it, even if it did go in. Of course, he ends up missing. Vleigh ends up winning the game.
So, so obviously Jacoby misses the shot.
Yeah, it was in and out. It was a back. It looked good.
Vleigh gets it back. How quickly? And so you had to rush the ball up the court, right?
Timeout. They called timeout.
Call timeout. So then they get it at the halfway mark. Who inbounds it?
Gavi.
How do you
inbound.
decide? I don't know. I'm not such a. How do you decide who inbounds it?
We just kind of go with whoever's got the momentum. I don't think it's ever really been a thing that's discussed. We just, whoever's there. We can all really
Avi,
pass
is there
on.
Was that the play you guys drew up?
I'm sorry?
To get the ball to?
Is a little guy we wanted to get the ball to? When we had that timeout, it really wasn't even discussion who's the ball going to. We just knew we're going to get it to someone, and if that guy could get an open look, just take the shot. We all trust each other, so no matter who wound up putting that shot, we would have had faith it would have gone in and been a good shot, and would have been, live with the results regardless. But Alon got the ball, and he was having a great game all night, played amazing defense, and he made the shot, so hats off to him. It was a beautiful play.
What's his name?
Alon Bitzalo.
Alon Bitzalo. Okay, so you got Uri Alon and Alon
There's no
Bitzalo.
game plan in that huddle of who gets the ball?
What's that?
You just said, let's go, we got this. What was going on in the huddle? There was no game plan of who gets the
Just
ball?
like there was no game plan. It was just like we're gonna go up with a shot, and we can also try to draw the foul at the same time because they were in foul trouble. So it was just be aggressive, coming out of that inbound and getting a shot, and live with the results, and hopefully, if it doesn't, at least get to the line. It wasn't like a decision.
So what comes?
Sorry, what were you
I
saying?
couldn't hear you there, Uriel. Can you say that?
It wasn't.
So who do you have next on?
We have Olam next.
I think we're having. You have Olam next. Okay, so what are your thoughts on Olam?
By the way, Olam just defeated last night as well. We have to give them credit once they're bringing up their name. They just knocked off Hab Construction, who brought the best team they've had all season. They had a couple guys who sporadically played throughout the regular season to become eligible, and they played a really tough game versus Olam, but Olam pulled it out. Alad had another one of his fantastic games, and now Vleigh will be facing Olam, a chance to knock off another top dog in the HSL.
Yeah, we're excited for this game. I didn't see the Olam match last night, but they're a great team. Hab, I never saw them play because I think they were in the other division. But Olam, tough opponent. We want this revenge game. We played them before, and it was a very competitive game. Both teams, we both fought really hard to the end. In that game, I think we had momentum majority of the game. A couple of bad decisions at the end resulted in the loss, but we were right there with them every step of the way, and a lot of time even had a couple of point leads. So we're excited for this matchup. It's going to be a fun game.
When are the games, Avi?
Wednesday.
Both games are Wednesday, and then when's the finals?
We don't have the final date yet. After Wednesday, we're going to decide the final date. It'll be the following week.
Yeah, I gotta make it my business to be there Wednesday. And what time on Wednesday are the games?
We got Olam versus Vleigh, 8 o'clock. And then 9 o'clock is Under 5'10" Pipe Doctor versus Jules by DK, which is also going to be a fantastic game because of the friend rivalry and the Nate Levy and the Samson versus the Jordan Appel and the Caleb Pollen. It's going to be a fun night. It's going to be a very, very fun night. Two extremely competitive games, which more importantly brings the fans when we need it. All four of these teams, when we need people to show up and fill the building, they fill the building. So that's why I'm happy in a way. Link is amazing. I love them. They bring great vibes to the league, but they don't bring people. They don't bring fans. Link shows up with their players, and that's it. These four teams left are arguably the four biggest teams that bring the most people to games.
So maybe we could get Ellie Dax to sing the national anthem.
Got to make sure we get him a functional mic this time. I wasn't happy about the mic situation.
All right, so let me ask you a question. The Vleigh Vipers were complaining they got no respect all year. Then you moved them up to 2 in the power rankings. Well, then they had their opportunity. They played against Olam. They lost by just a couple of points, and you moved them up to 2. Then they got walloped by under 5'10" Pipe Doctor. So how do we assess Vleigh? Now Vleigh pulls off this miraculous win.
The honest answer, and I wrote it before the game last night on the community, I said which team's going to show up. And there's a reason why they were at 7 in the power rankings. They went up to 2. They went back to 6. It's because you don't know what team's going to show up every game. They have some games where they show up and feel like they're the best team in the world. Like, not only could they beat everyone, they are the best. Then they have some games where they show up and they get destroyed and run out of the building in the first 15 minutes of the game. The answer from my perspective is...
Sorry, I had to jump off a bit but I missed part of what you were saying.
He said basically different Vleigh Vipers show up in different games. You get good Vleigh Vipers or bad Vleigh Vipers, and it's hard to predict. What do you think of that?
That's a fair statement. We have a very big team with a lot of depth, and we're never bad. That's for sure. We got a great group of guys, and it's just about figuring out rotations and how to play with each other. Because like I said, it's majority of the team. It's our first time really playing together. Some of us have played, but for the most part, we're figuring it out as we go. And that game after Olam, where you moved us up and then we played under 5'10", that was our first time showing up with a full team. And we just looked a little bit lost in how to make the rotations, who plays and who guards who. Oh, what do I think about that? I think we have a great team, and it's just about figuring out how to play with each other. It's a big team, 9 people.
Now I have no clue. I have no clue how to put the line anymore now, because I can put the line at -9.5 or +9.5, and depending on how Vleigh plays, they can hit both of them easily. It's like certain teams, like, you could gauge, like Link Home Care, they'll never lose by more than 5 points. They'll never get blown out. Caleb Pollen's team, you could tell when they're going to win by a lot, when they're going to lose by a lot. This Vleigh Viper team, like, I just don't know. Like, against Olam Realty, they could lose by 15. They could win by 10. Like, that's how I'm assessing their team right now. It's just so unpredictable, at least from what I've seen throughout the season. And if you remember, they're also missing one of their best players and one of the top players in the league as well, the Vleigh Vipers. And they beat Link without him. And Link had their full team. So Vleigh are really, really scary when they're full and they're clean.
So who do you think is the favorite to win it all right now, Avi?
I would have to say Olam, only because Olam only lost one game. They lost to Link. They beat Vleigh in the past. Barely. But until I see Vleigh beat Olam, then Olam's the favorite. I will say, if Vleigh beats Olam, I will tell everyone right now that Vleigh will be the favorites in the championship regardless. They are 30 times bigger than under 5'10" and Jules by DK. If they play Jules by DK, they will absolutely eat them alive inside. Under 5'10" Pipe Doctor has Jaime Salem, which will help, but Allswing's bigger than Jaime. And if Vleigh did what they did, they could do to Allswing and Link Home Care inside, they'll do it 20 times worse to under 5'10" Pipe Doctor inside.
Vleigh's the biggest team in the league, or the biggest team that's left?
Depends. Olam's very big also, which is why I think it'll actually be a big challenge for Vleigh, because I think the big reason that they beat Link Home Care last night, besides for playing well, is that they had 1 billion offensive rebounds. They will not have the same success against Olam. Olam, as their center, is 6'6", their power forward 6'3", 6'2", 6'3", and even their guards are like really tall and they jump through the roof. So I don't think Vleigh will have the same success inside. I don't think. Put it this way, Vleigh's not going to score 44 or 46 points, whatever it is, and win the game. I promise you that. They're not. They won't be able to do what they did against Link. They're going to win. They're going to have to score in the high 50s, low 60s. They won't be able to, they won't be able to control the paint as well as they control it against Link. But I think Vleigh could do it. Like I said, we said before, they lost to Olam by 2 points last time without a couple of big players. So I would not be shocked at all if Vleigh wins. However, it's going to be a different type of game against Olam if Vleigh wants to advance to the championship.
What do you say, Uri? What do you say, Uri?
What do I say? Olam and us match up physically well. That's for sure. I do give us a slight size advantage, but not by much. They got size. Vlad plays a lot bigger than he is. He kind of reminds me of Zion, the way he just floats in the air, takes the bump, and still finishes. He really takes a lot of contact when jumping, but still somehow hangs in there. They're a good team. I'm excited to play them. On paper, they have the better record, so you could say they have the advantage, but we don't feel that way. We feel like we're going to beat them. and we just want to have a competitive, fun game. No one wants to lose, right?
No one wants to lose.
No one.
So how did you get added to this squad, Uri? You said none of you
I
played
wasn't
with each.
asked that. You, Khalili, it looks like Dylan Kaufman discovered a lot of players from other teams and brought them on. How do you pull that off?
Yeah, last season, the fall season, we we were on Olam actually, me and Moshe. We played the Vleigh Vipers in the quarterfinals. Wound up beating them, and in that game, their big man went down, or maybe it was the game. No, it was the game before. Their big man went down, and it didn't look like Olam we were going to be able to get that team back together. So Dylan asked me, and made it happen. And then Moshe was available, so we just came on board and put together a good team. Our team, we have a ton of guys, and although we haven't played with each other, I got to say there's no egos, and everyone for the most part has accepted the role that they play, and we all are great at communicating and make adjustments when needed. Like I said, no ego. People, if we need to make an adjustment, we just do it.
Out of the other three teams, who would you say is the best that are left?
Under 5'10" is very underrated, I think. Their main guy, Caleb, he's great at getting into the paint and drawing defenders on him and then making the right pass to get his guys open. And they have the guy Doob, who can light up from three without much space, without having to dribble, just catch and shoot, and he will make you pay. So I think they're the most underrated team. Olam is probably the team that we got to get past.
You know who's gonna love this, by the way? You know who's gonna be watching this? Nate Levy and Yoni Sampson will be like, "No respect again. My team name didn't even get brought up in the other."
Which one is Jules by DK? I don't even remember, and that's not like a diss.
See, there you go.
I don't remember playing them.
Jules by DK. They had the buzzer beater against D3 Rides to Fly from the corner that I posted, the controversial ending, where they're down by 5 with like 35 seconds left in the quarterfinals last week, and they got a steal.
Which players are on Jules?
Nate Levy had a buzzer shot.
Is that the orange shirt
Yoni
team?
Sampson, Nate Levy. Yeah.
Yeah, they got a good team.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't remember much of their gameplay. I don't remember them that well, but I not that impressionable if I can't remember. But I'm sure they have a good team if they're in the semis.
I love hearing this. It's great. It fits right into like the what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word I'm looking for, Dave? It fits right into the whatever, everything that's been going on so far this season. Like the Jules by DK track has been like very like quiet.
You're on the no respect tour. All right, I got to jump off, guys. Any other thoughts before we stop?
Come to the game this Wednesday.
You have anything?
All right. I'm going to be there. I'm excited. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good game. Gonna be a good game. We're all there to compete.
I got one
think
request.
It's a really fun game. Sure.
I got one request. Can you get my boy Adam Bromberg into the game for a couple of minutes on Wednesday?
He's got to show up. I think he's gonna come, and if he comes, I'm definitely gonna try to get him in there. He's got a good shot.
He didn't come last night?
He wasn't available, but Adam is good. I think when he's there, we try to get him in. He's got a good shot. He's a great teammate, and we enjoy having him there.
He's a great guy. He's a great guy and the newest HSL stats and schedule keeper for softball.
We appreciate you.
Oh, wow.
Awesome. Can I say something quickly before we jump off? I want to say something quickly. So it was like halftime of the Olam game after the Vleigh beat Link. And I look at Binyamin Roberts, and I'm like, hey, you came – because Binyamin didn't play against Link in the last game of the regular season. He came dressed, and he just basically coached them the whole time. So I said, hey, do you plan on checking into this game? He's like, we'll see what happens. And then we're like a few minutes into the second half, and I realize there's another player on Olam's team there also who didn't play yet. And because I'm walking by, I hear Binyamin telling him, like, listen, man, I also didn't get in the game yet. If we go up by 10 or 12 points, we'll go in the game. Until then, we're sitting right here on the bench. It was just so funny to see. Because, okay, Binyamin's a captain, fine. But, like, I guess like it's a sign of, like, he's a true teammate. Like, he was standing right there with Binyamin Roberts the whole game, and they both checked in with, like, 13 seconds left, up by 7 with the ball. But, like, if Binyamin doing it, I understand. Like, it's his team. But, like, there's a random teammate there standing right next to him the whole time, didn't budge on the sideline, came dressed for the game.
Binyamin's a strong coach.
playoff time.
That's a good teammate. You go there to support
All
your
right,
team. You
guys.
know what's going on, you know? So,
Yep. Binomen actually came in and got a rebound and hit a free throw at the end of the game. Got him the
there you
stats.
go.
Very nice. All right, guys. I'm going to hit stop.